an OBS plugin that will allow you to back up your entire OBS production. So if you remember back in the old days when you did a PowerPoint and you handed it off to somebody, they'll upload it and then find out half the images are missing or videos missing. PowerPoint's got better over the years. Same with OBS. So if you do a backup of your OBS and you can move it to another machine, now if you can then download the necessary plugins, if you've used plugins, and it'll come with all the relevant graphics. So if you use any videos, assets like PNGs, JPEGs and all of that's going to be packaged into a single file that when you rebuild it on another machine, or you need to restore a backup on your current machine, it will make sure everything is then put together, so now you've got a production you can go live with. So let's go and actually download the plugin. It's actually free to use, currently only available on Windows, is rolling out on Mac, and I'll let you know in the notes when Mac is available. So what we need to do is get this plugin. We'll download it. I'll save that there. And what we want to do is install that. If you've got OBS in your standard folder, just go with that. Just if you haven't, just map it to your installation folder accordingly. That's installed. Let's finish that. If I go to OBS, I probably won't see anything. So what I want to do is exit OBS and then launch OBS. Now if we go to Tools, you'll see Elgato Marketplace Connect. So click on that. Need to sign in. Now this plugin allows you to make scenes and overlays, in effect make a production, parcel it up, and then you can sell it on. So if you're not going to do that, this is where, this isn't a tool. Actually, it was Nutty that actually highlighted it on one of his videos. So now if we go and hit the cog, or the gear icon, now what you're going to do is actually, in this package, actually tell it what the assets are. So if you've got your default camera, if you've got the behind the scene cameras and all that kind of stuff. So the idea is once somebody installs it on their machine, they can assign, in effect, you're creating placeholders and they can assign their replacements for this current one. So the default camera is the HDMI capture. My default microphone is the Rodecaster. Now I want to turn on Maker Tools. Now what's this going to do? If you're not going to send it to the store, this will allow you to download that package and then send it on to somebody, or install it, or download it, put it on a USB stick, upload it as a backup to a cloud server, something like that. So I'm going to go save. Now that's done, we want to close that. We want to go to Tools, and we're looking for something that will allow us to export it. But we need to close OBS and restart it for it to appear in the Tools menu. So now we've restarted OBS. If you go to Tools, there should be 2 new items in Tools. So we've got Export, Make a Scene Collection, and Import. So what I'm going to do is package an entire production down, put it on a network drive, and go to another machine where I haven't installed OBS yet, install OBS, and then import this and see what it does. Hopefully it's going to pull in or suggest all the relevant plugins I'm going to need, and it should have within that package all the media assets. So let's export one. So Tools, Export. It's going to now select the music, yep, WebMs. So by the looks of it, it's got it all there. So let's do an export. Continue, which is an effect, an export. Description, side camera. So somebody might call it side, so I'm going to put side or top down. If I spell it correctly. The idea is if somebody's now going to install this on their machine, this production, they would know what the assets are. It's going to ask them as they import it, what is your replacement for the main camera, what's your replacement for the microphone, and there's also these relevant scenes that use different cameras. So you want to give them a hint. These are placeholders, and they'll replace it with their own. If this is a backup for yourself, you're going to know anyway. So HDMI capture, I'm going to put Sony main. Fly cam, I haven't got that. Side webcam, that's that. HDMI capture, that must be my Sony. I'm going to put desk view. I don't know what the element's going to be. Downstream required plugins. Oh, that's great. I didn't know what plugins I'd actually use. I knew I was using Downstream and Move. I didn't know I was using any others because I set this up about a year ago, added a load of plugins and played around, and I didn't know which plugins I'd actually use. So that's good. So I just know I just used 2 plugins within this production. Continue. OBS export. Test. OBS export 1. Done. So now what I'm going to do is go over to the studio where I've got a little B link. I'm going to install the OBS on there and then pull this in. Just transfer that Elgato backup to this machine when I'm going to install OBS. After installing OBS, I'll install the Elgato plugin and then import that file and see what we get. That's OBS installed. Now let's go and install the plugins. So that's Elgato installed. Now we'll open OBS. Now you want to go to Tools. We're going to go over to the cog. Default camera. USB video. Is that the one? Yeah, USB video. Default microphone is the Wave. Obviously this is a different machine, so it's got, that's the point of setting the place holders in your export. We're going to turn on tool makers, or the maker tool, sorry. I'm going to save. We'll exit that. We'll close that out of the way. So we'll exit OBS. So that's OBS. Let's import tools, import. Now it's the desktop. OBS to export. So that's what it's going to bring in. So excited now. Let's see. So now it's now prompted for 2 plugins, the Move and the Downstream keyer. So I'm going to say yes to that. Hopefully the screen capture is working. Downstream keyer. Done. And we want the Move transition. Again, more info. Run anyway. Yes. So the package itself identified the 2 plugins from the export. So you can see if you were just given this on a USB or sent this through like a P-Cloud backup tool, which I recommend using. I'll give you a link to a backup tool I use. And or if it was like WeTransfer or Google Drive, basically we're away. So if I'll get that, I've got that. So now what? So if I exit that, that will give it a chance for those plugins now to be found. OBS, let's launch OBS again after installing those recommended 2 plugins. Now we'll go back to tools again. We're going to go back to tools. We'll do import again. Saved it on the desktop. OBS export from the machine in the office. I'm going to open that. Bundle just a few steps to get started. Collection name, Office PC. continue. So the Sony is going to be my USB video device. Now it's the desk view is the device, and that's desk view. Okay, so maybe I set it wrong. So there's the side and top down. So that's right. I don't know what that was. I must have made a mistake in the setup, but it's picked up and obviously allocated the placeholder cameras. And I press continue. The microphone, that's correct. The scene, there's the scene. Oh, where's the view? There's my scenes there. Political scenes. Yep, so that looks, yep, that is absolutely amazing. That is, yep, that's perfect. That's actually a godsend. Because you imagine the amount of hours, this one, global inputs that go into elements, that allows me to use them multiple times. Then I've got broadcast overlays, that's the BOs. And then I've got the BS, which sounds really cool, isn't it? But the BS is broadcast scenes. So, and it's pulled all of them in. Obviously the name, it's got Rodecaster there. I would change that to Wave because it's that, but it's actually pulled in all that in moments. Absolutely brilliant.